What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So details are being revealed for the highly anticipated, undisputed welterweight showdown between undefeated, unified three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top two, if not number one, definitely top five, pound for pound, best fighters in the world. And Earl the Truth Spence Jr., who holds a record of 28 wins, no losses, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'9", with a 72-inch arm reach, as he's set to take on undefeated three-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO, World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the number one best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford holds a record of 39 wins, no losses, no draw, 30 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8", with a 74-inch arm reach. With that said, they are set to do business and square off against one another July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. And the details for this highly anticipated fight between the two fighters is starting to come out. And now it makes a lot of sense, because Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence now are set to make a guaranteed purse of $10 million apiece. $10 million apiece, guaranteed purse, with back-end money and rematch clauses. Initially, when this fight was being talked about coming to fruition in November 2022 and then December 2022, there was no guaranteed purses up front. There was no, there was only back-end money. So it was just on a limb, right? And everybody pushed blame on Terrence Crawford for not accepting the deal and stated that Terrence Crawford was avoiding and ducking Errol Spence's fight. He didn't want to make the fight happen, and that Terrence Crawford never made that type of money. He could count on the back-end money, so on and so forth, etc. And now Terrence Crawford is going to be set to make a guaranteed purse of $10 million up front. On top of that, he's going to have a rematch clause for this fight. And on top of that, he's going to get back-end money for the pay-per-view. And this fight is going to do, I believe, 1 million pay-per-view buys. So Terrence Crawford made the right decision by not taking the initial deal and standing on his square and saying that he wanted things to be on the up and up and the money wasn't right. Right? And so with that said, it benefited both Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Now they're both set to make even more money on the back end and upfront money. So this is life-changing money. It's the biggest lucrative fight for both fighters' careers. They have a rematch clause for both guys. They're both world champions. They're both undefeated. They're both top five pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. They both have, a lot to lose and a lot to gain. And so with that said, there's a lot on the line for both Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., and hence the reason why they both have a rematch clause. They both world champions. Neither one of them has taken a loss. So they have the option. Both have the option to exercise a rematch clause within 30 days from the initial fight. Okay, so you got July 29th, so they have to August 29th to initiate the, exercise their rematch clause to fight one another. I think that if they do have a rematch clause, because we hear conversations that Errol Spence already is prepared and ready to move up to 154 from 147. He's been at this weight for 10 years. He's bigger than Terrence Crawford. He's a southpaw. Both guys are. Terrence Crawford switches from southpaw to orthodox, but he predominantly fights a southpaw. They both technically sound. They both have power. They both have skills. And Terrence Crawford started his career at 130 pounds, was a champion 135, 140, and now 47. Errol Spence at one point in time fought at 154. Now he's been predominantly majority of his career now at 147. So for both guys, it's about that time for them to move up and look to to fight and become for Terrence Crawford. should he be victorious, it'll be a 4-division world champion for him. And for Errol Spence, it'll be a 2nd division. So there's reports that both guys are expected to exercise their mandatory challenge position to fight the 3-time junior middleweight, undisputed world champion, superstar, top 5 pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, and Jermell Ironman Charlo. Jermell Charlo has a record of 35 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. He is 19 wins by way of knockout. He's about to be 33 years of age, 5'11" and a half with a 73.5-inch arm reach. It's a very, very, it's a very interesting situation because Jermell Charlo is also trained by well-renowned 2-time Trainer of the Year and future Hall of Famer and Derrick James, that also obviously trains Errol Spence, and that's where he started his career and made his name. He also trains Jermell Charlo, but the reports are Errol Spence has never has let the world know on a few occasions now, that he's not interested in turning down a fight with Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo doesn't really have interest in fighting Errol Spence, but he says if the fight is right and the money's right, he'll take the fight. We know Terrence Crawford, he's made it very, very known that he wants to fight Jermell Charlo as soon as he beats Errol Spence. So it's expected to see, now it's being reported that the winner is going to petition, because Terrence Crawford holds the WBO title, so which means that he can, if he beats Errol Spence, he can make himself the mandatory for Jermell Charlo immediately. And same would go for Errol Spence. He holds the WBC, IBF, and WBA. The WBA and the IBF is not as strict as the WBC. The WBC is tricky. The WBC sometimes would make it, allow you to be the mandatory. So it's funny, but the WBO, now the WBO is a whole different story. The WBO, they will definitely mandate the opponent in the next division to have to fight the winner of their fighter who is a weight class below and moving up in weight and making himself the mandatory. So they would definitely 1,000% open up the gates for a Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence winner to fight Jermell Charlo, because if Errol Spence beats Terrence Crawford, he will then hold the WBO title, and he could he could petition to be the mandatory challenger for Jermell Charlo's WBO title. And Jermell Charlo is soon going to satisfy his mandatory against Tim Tszyu. So Tim Tszyu has a fight coming up, though. So he has to win his fight coming up against Carlos Ocampo. He beats Carlos Ocampo, then Tim Tszyu is the mandatory for the WBC title that Jermell Charlo holds. Jermell Charlo beats him, then the winner of this fight, can be the mandatory. But obviously they have a rematch clause. So I believe that the rematch clause between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford will take place at 154. I highly doubt that the winner of this fight fights the loser of this fight, should I say, would and the winner, but more so the winner would agree to fight at 147 again. I think that the winner would, be in petition. I think the winner would still, choose to look to fight at 154, right? Because again, that could be the rematch, because more than likely when you move up to 154, they're going to have a fight before they fight Jermell Charlo. So this could be the fight at 154 before the winner fights Jermell Charlo. Okay. But they have also it looks like the trilogy will be on the table should they split. So who knows how that will work out. But let's say Errol Spence was to be victorious. Obviously, it's going to be interesting because Derrick James' situation with Jermell Charlo and their relationship, their friendship. And if Terrence Crawford wins, it's going to be interesting because the rematch clause for Errol Spence, and I'm sure it will take place at 154. But Terrence Crawford is going to want to petition to fight Jermell Charlo immediately, seeing as though he's already 35 years of age. But it looks like Terrence Crawford was 1,000% correct. Let's see if everybody gives Terrence Crawford his roses while he can smell them, because he stood on his square. He didn't take the first offer. He didn't take the fight. He felt like, there was more to be had. And lo and behold, it looks like Terrence Crawford is going to get a guaranteed purse of $10 million with a rematch clause, a media rematch clause. That makes all the sense in the world. So more importantly now, we can get to the press conference, the build up, and now we can get to also, who's gonna win. We can start breaking down the fight, who we think gonna win, who we think gonna lose, so on and so forth. So can't wait. Now's the time. Finally, we get in the fight we wanted, and both fighters are gonna get some lucrative, legacy, life-changing money and event taking place. Period. Now that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Let me know who y'all think gonna win. I'm going. Peace.
This is Amanda, the Real Deal Serrano, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.